football than I do. In fact, I think just about everybody knows more than me. But even I find it hard to escape all the excitement at this time of year. It's the run-up to the football grand finals, and players are being bought and sold for astronomical sums. Some brilliant careers are blooming, but some are nearing their end. Well, what happens when football heroes hang up their boots for the last time? See, it's about now that the first generation of truly full-time, truly professional players are facing retirement and the challenge of life after footy. And some are in for a real surprise. In stadiums right round Australia, young men just coming of age are also coming into big money. Add the smell of the liniments and the roar of the crowd, and no wonder young boys dream of this. What many players don't realise at first, though, is that the clock counting down their brilliant careers ticks very fast.
There it is. I know players come out of football at the ripe old age of, say, 30 and still don't know how to write a cheque or pay the bills or do the things that they should know how to do as grown men.
Tonight, the reality of life after football. The Brisbane Lions ruckman.
I'm just not ready to work a 9-to-5 job.
The toughest halfback in rugby league.
One thing about it, I do enjoy driving a cab.
The pin-up boy who turned to farming.
Papa doesn't charge, Rich. Yeah, I'm the Pittsburgh farmer.
And the one-time hero now battling to make a quid.
All of a sudden, your whole life changes. Things just don't happen anymore.
Ours is the age of the full-time professional footballer in all codes. But come injury, lack of form, or just age, players can be on the scrap heap long before they'd like to be.
It's the group that are sort of retiring now that have gone through a massive increase of the base salary and have had good disposable income. They're coming out the end of it and going, God, I haven't got that much there.
Craig Kelly was a premiership player for Collingwood and is now a high-flying sports manager, looking after about 100 players.
There'd probably be 4 or so players within the competition, upwards around that $800,000 mark.
The base salary is around $50,000 for a rookie, and an average player might pocket $170,000. It is huge money, and as Craig Kelly knows, it is easy to squander.
I learned from experience, having played the game and coming out at the end of it with really a lot less than I should have, because I did have the latest four-wheel drive Maverick because I thought that was cool, and I did try and keep up with the guys who were earning a lot more money than I.
So you were a mug?
Yeah, I was.
Hawthorn's Spider Everett is about to face the money crunch himself. He's got 2 years of play left, maybe 3. Are you prepared for retirement?
Mentally I am. I think financially and everything, no.
But it's not going to fall in your lap. I mean, have you prepared anything?
You know, we chat about it nearly every day, being as soon as you hit 30, very, very nervous times ahead, and, you know, you've got children and a family, incomes, and we know it's not going to happen, but my outlook is you're always going to survive somehow.
I don't think they'll survive because they won't with the money they've been getting, they get that a year, and for them to go and live like Joe Blow, I can't see them doing that, not at all, no.
No one knows the world of football's hard knocks better than is one of the great rugby league halfbacks. Wharfie, labourer, now a cabbie.
I don't mind doing the hard work, so I went to the markets, got a job sorting tomatoes at 1 o'clock in the morning, and sold tomatoes, but by
in the 80s, football paid him what was then top money, $60,000 a year.
And all came from a mistake.
Nowadays, in his part-time commentary role, he calls players who earn 10 times that much. For a bit of extra cash, there's the public speaking circuit, and the fans still love him.
And I scored under the post, and we won the game. And that night, guys, That night, they read out the Australian side and who should be the number one halfback again. Tom fucking Radonic. I did get into a thing where I didn't really want to work, and thank God my girlfriend said to me at the time, she said to me, Tom, if you don't get off your backside and go and get a job, I'm going to go to Sydney. So I said, well, I'm buying me a place. I said, well, I better get me finger out and get a job, and that got me going again, thank God.
These men are as tough as nails, but they're also a highly paid, pampered and protected lot. Six days a week, the focus is on the next game. And there's not much talk of life beyond that. But nowadays, the clubs recognise the difficulties players face when the game's over.
Now, if you click on there, you're going to get yellow behind it, but you can also...
Both football codes are now spending more than $1 million each teaching football stars some of life's skills that most of us take for granted.
Do another exercise.
I hope you didn't record that.
Have you got anything in mind?
Not really. I'm still sort of floating around, but something around, the sort of my own business and something like that.
Yeah, what sort of business are you going to be good in?
Yeah, I'm trying to find out. I don't know.
What you need to do is change the size of the and you move that $1. Then the second...
This is a TAFE course on small business management.
That should give you...
Every Wednesday is a compulsory career day for the Canterbury Bulldogs. Right. What job would you get if you left now?
If I went out now, I'm probably lucky because my parents own a business in a cafe, so I'm pretty lucky there. But apart from that, I haven't really got any qualifications for anything else.
But nowadays, you are wrapped in cotton wool. Do you think you're ready for the real world?
Yeah. What do you think? What we do is easy?
The trick is ask the question early enough. What do you want to do? And keep asking till the stage you get to where they've got to think about it. And they've got to say, I've got to really find something that I'm passionate about outside of sport so that when you finish, you can continue to do that.
So, Warwick, you're the first $1 million player.
Yes, I think I was worth every cent. Sorry, mate, sorry, I'm trying to be so funny, but...
Who could forget the pretty boy of the 80s? Well, it turns out Warwick Capper has more than just good looks. Look, I guess you wouldn't be earning $1 million now, so how have you adjusted?
Well, I think I'm one of the lucky ones, Richard, because I've diversified a bit out of the square. My father always says, never spend more than you make. So I've done that, and I'm debt-free now, and football's enabled me to have a good lifestyle.
Okay, so where are these cattle, Warwick?
Come over here, Richard, I'll show you.
Huh? No, come with me, mate, it's all right. Warwick Capper's dad also told him to dress well, so he met us near his Gold Coast farm in a Versace suit and matching shoes.
As you can see, it's got quite large breasts.
As well as a few cattle, he writes for magazines and is in demand on the public speaking scene. Tell me, how much is luck and how much is skill?
I think a bit of both. I had to work on it. I talk too fast, had to get elocution lessons, and it's given me confidence to project myself and come across as a bit entertaining.
Paradoxically, when Jack Elsgood retired from rugby league 4 years ago, his income took off. As did his new hobby. Jack, I don't know much about motor racing, but I do know it costs a lot of money. Where's it all come from?
Basically, it comes from businesses that I have in place that sponsor my racing career.
You sponsor yourself?
I do pretty much through my own companies, yes.
Jack was into real estate even while he was still playing. Now he's a well-off property developer.
I've got 66 units going up in...
How many?
66 in Harvey Bay.
That's quite big time.
It is a big project.
So you're pleased with yourself?
Can always do better, always. I mean, I'd like it, ran goal for everyone, but unfortunately, I mean, some people are going to miss out and others are going to prosper.
He's worked hard, but then so has Brett Kenny with quite a different result.
I achieved everything you could in the game of rugby league. I played from a country and from a state, and things just seem to happen for you. But all of a sudden, when you're not playing, it's not the same.
Brett Kenny was a champion 5'8" in the 80s.
Suddenly it becomes, well, you know, you're not the current footballer anymore. You used to play football. I actually had people come up to me and say, didn't you used to be Brett Kenny?
In retirement, Brett tried sales work and, for a time, commentary for Fox Sports.
I mean, I just think it's time to pick the best halfback.
But he lost both jobs and is now a builder's labourer. On the job this week, staff lined up to pay homage, even though it's more than 10 years since he's kicked a ball.
Very nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Big fan from back in the 80s, huge fan. So
I've got to admit, it was a bit embarrassing. You'd say to people, they'd say, what do you do? I say, I'm a labourer. And I think, oh.
Yes, you've got a great attitude.
I'm grateful for my mates to give me the opportunity to at least work. I mean, there's other guys that are in a worse situation than I'm in.
What proportion of your football mates would be doing it hard now?
I'd probably say, 40%, 50%.
Sometimes the hardest part is the emotional loss.
I'm over here in no man's land trying to get as close as I can to a teammate to hug him and give him a big kiss. But yeah, this is just sort of relives the moment.
Marcus Ashcroft played for Brisbane for 15 years. He retired on top last year when he was earning $200,000 a year. Look, I shouldn't pry too much into your private life, but I mean, are you having difficulty adjusting?
Yeah, I think I am. I thought I was prepared, but when you actually get to that point, you never truly are. I studied when I was younger, so I've got an accounting degree, and it's a funny thing, I've actually had an offer to work in an accounting firm, but much to my procrastination about it all, I just can't find myself to go and do a 9-to-5 job.
His right hip is bone on bone, but Marcus still trains every day as if he's on call for the next game. Oh, look, I feel for you. You're not much more than half my age, and, well, your career is over.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's funny. The reality of it is that, yeah, 32 and you're retired. I've still got another 32 years to go again before I retire properly. And it's that actual reality check that's going to strike a lot of kids when they come out in the next few years. That's going to really hit home.
Marcus Ashcroft.
There's this emotional letdown that they can never replace, and I think they struggle with that for 1 or 2 years, maybe longer.
Marcus Ashcroft will survive these difficult times one way or another. He's got his head screwed on. Brett Kenny has done his best with a poor hand and deserves a lot better because he's got such a positive attitude. But the next generation, they have no excuses. What advice do you give your own kids?
Go on and go for it. If you want to become a footballer, by all means, give it your best shot. But at the same time, think about something else as well and try and get a degree or get a trade behind you and do that so that once you're finished, you can keep going on with your life.